It's lovely to be with you all again. I've got another story for you today, and it's about a man called Joseph. Now, I wonder whether you have any brothers or sisters, and I wonder how many brothers and sisters you have. Maybe there's just you. Maybe you have brothers, maybe you have sisters. Today, we've got a story about a boy or a young man who had 10 brothers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 brothers. Can you imagine that? Sometimes the brothers got on fine, but sometimes they squabbled. I expect it's like that with you and your brothers and sisters, or your friends at school. I wonder whether Ruby and Poppy squabble, or whether Freddie and Thomas squabble, or Leslie and Fifi, or William, Isaac and Millie. I wonder. These 10 brothers squabbled more than any other over one thing, and that was when they felt especially jealous of their brother called Joseph. They were jealous because the brothers all felt that their father Joseph had a favourite son, and that son was Joseph. Joseph, they thought, always seemed to get special treatment. One example of this was Joseph's special new coat. It was the finest coat anybody had ever seen. It was a long coat with sleeves, and it might even have been made with special colours like the top I'm wearing today. We don't exactly know, but it was a very special coat. One day, Joseph, who was known as a dreamer, because he always had dreams, told his brothers of 2 dreams he'd had. And in those dreams it was suggested that one day all the brothers would bow down to Joseph as though he was a king. And when Joseph told his brothers this, it sounded very, very boastful. My word, those brothers were so jealous and so angry. It was the most jealous and the most angry they had ever been. The brothers went off to look after their father's sheep, and they were absolutely fuming, and they left Joseph behind. However, a while later, their father, Jacob, said that Joseph should go and find his brothers and find out how they were getting on. So off Joseph went. Eventually, the brothers saw Joseph coming. "Here comes that dreamer," they said. Then, because they were still so angry, they said something really, really awful. "Let's kill him," they said. Ah, how dreadful was that? But the oldest brother, who was called Reuben, he didn't like that idea. "No, don't let's kill him," he said. "Let's just put him down this hole instead." Reuben's plan was to rescue Joseph later and take him back to his father. The brothers pretended to agree with Reuben, but as soon as Reuben was out of sight, they pulled Joseph up out of the hole and they sold him as a slave to some tradespeople who were passing by. When Reuben got back, the brothers lied to him. Not only had they tried to kill Joseph, but now they were telling lies to their brother Reuben. And they said, Joseph has been killed by wild animals and been taken away. They even smeared some goat's blood on Joseph's special coat to make their story look true, to look as though the wild animals had attacked him. How dreadful was that? My goodness me. Then they went back to their father and told the lies to him. And they showed their father the special coat with the blood on it. Can you imagine how sad Jacob was when he saw that? Poor Father Jacob. Meanwhile, Joseph was actually quite safe. The tradespeople hadn't hurt him. They had sold him off again, and they'd sold him to the servant of the king, or Pharaoh he was called, in a land called Egypt. So Joseph wasn't dead after all. That was good news. There are lots more stories about Joseph in the Bible, some of them about his dreams and how they came true, and also a story about when Joseph met his brothers again many, many years later when they were all grown up, and he forgave them for the bad things they had done and the lies that they had told. Maybe we'll hear that story another day, and maybe we'll hear some of Joseph's other stories another day. There are lots of stories in the Bible, quite a few stories in the Bible about Joseph in the Old Testament, and I'm sure we'll hear some of those another day. But that's the first part of Joseph's story. Well, some not very nice things happened in that story, didn't they? Joseph's brothers were very unkind to him because they were jealous. But in the end, Joseph was safe in a land called Egypt. And eventually, when they were all grown up, he met his brothers and he forgave them, as we just heard. Sometimes we're unkind, aren't we? Or other people are unkind to us. The important thing then is to say sorry to each other and to forgive each other. That's what's important about today's story. Not to be unkind, but if we are, to say sorry and forgive. Next time I come to talk to you, we'll have another story from the Old Testament, from the very first early part of our Bibles. Until then, God bless everybody, and we'll see you again soon. Stay safe, and most of all, stay kind. Bye.